All right, everybody, what's going on? On the road again? Everybody piled into the rented van. January 4th, 2023. Time for a road trip. Got Ranger at the helm as usual. Nini up front keeping an eye on things. First mate and navigator. Handed the phone over to 30 and he's doing his thing. Checking everybody out, looking out the window. Oh my God, it was frightening. And little scope of the terrain as we hit the highway. Look out the front window there. Very much like any American highway, according to this one man opinion. Taking the big trip to Baguio. We started out here in Sindalan, and ultimate goal is heading north up to Baguio. Traveling the E5 expressway and traveling north, coming out of the city of San Fernando, taking that 2-hour and 55-minute toll road route thanks to Google Maps, and final destination will be Baguio. Looking out the window on the left-hand side, you can see the terrain is quite flat. You can really see way out on the horizon. Then Maria grabbed the phone and shot some footage out the right side of the vehicle. Very similar view. Got a little bit of hillside, a little closer than we did on the other side. So we traveled up, and during the trip, I found out, I did not realize we were going to make a pit stop in Manaoag. I'm sure I just butchered that name. So as we got off the highway, made a quick pit stop, hit the boys and girls room. There's Mike looking around. Then off the highway on our way into town. Little shots along the way here. We ran into a funeral procession and we were just sitting there, and I took a shot of these guys chilling out, watching the funeral procession go by. Wasn't able to actually get any video of it. On our way again, some of the homesteads along the roadway, pretty nice digs. A little more spread out here, a little more privacy than you do in town. And a little bit of a view, some of the vendors along the side of the road, and give you an idea what it's like. Saw these grain silos, look just like something you might see in the U.S. I thought that was rather curious or interesting. And here is where we are going to end up. The Minor Basilica of Our Lady of the Rosary, Manaoag, off Milo Street. Here's the image out front of the church, and here we are waiting for a guard to open the gate so we can get inside. We gal there with some rosary beads and whatnot. While we were waiting, took an opportunity to do a little selfie action, and then on our way in, I'll let you guys tag along. Okay, on our way back out front into the beautiful warm sunshine and spectacular sky. Working our way over to the left, back to the gate, and not sure what was being discussed, but Rika and Anti-Cell were going to go somewhere and do something. So they took off, and we took the opportunity to do some more selfies out in front of the church. So we did that, and now back outside the gate. He's directing something or another there. I'm not sure what's going on. A lot of vendors selling rosary beads and trinkets, and they would continue to hawk their wares right into the van when you were trying to climb in. Took a little shot around, a little panoramic, little grandstand area that's just outside the church. And then back on the road, going back out to the highway. Took the trip out to the highway, back onto the E5. Had another hour and 36, hour and 32, whatever it was, up to Baguio. And as you can see, the roadway topography, we got off here at the Sisan interchange. That was the end of the highway, and the topography began to change. You could see a difference. You could see hillsides were much closer. Couldn't quite make out on the horizon like we did before. Curvy roads, very plush landscape, and heading north, the roadway got a lot more wiggly, and as you can see, I'm zooming in here so you get a little more detail. You see some of that orangey yellow area there. A lot of switchbacks that we got into, gaining altitude the whole time as we travel the roads. And then I actually had to stand the map on its ear. That arrow is pointing north, and we ultimately ended up at Happy Tummy, which is right down the hill from where we were staying. Pardon me, this was the last little kind of urban-esque area tourist trap before we started climbing the hill. That was a zip line. And then we started to get into much more rural Landscapes, very lovely, very plush. People starting to build up on the hillsides. Vendors, of course, all along the way. Thought it was weird this guy was looking right at us when we were driving by. That was kind of weird. And more stuff. Sorry stores. Caught this guy on the side of the road working on his jeepney. And then we started to get up into some higher altitudes. Made some fun out of snapshotting some trucks as they were on their way back down the hill. Very heavy trucks, these things, very heavy. They were crawling mighty slow going up the hill. Here's a shot to kind of give you an idea of the grade. I think you can tell it's definitely uphill. And then we started to run into some clouds and fog. Here's some guys doing some cement work. Everything's in concrete around here. Pardon me. Looking out, they're building on the other side of the barricades. They're building places in concrete on stilts. You can see just on the other side of that rail, probably a pretty good drop. Everybody builds on the other side of the barricades all the way up the hill. Starting to get some fog. I think you can make that out. Very foggy. As we gained altitude, we were into the cloud cover. People building wherever they can, mostly on really steep grades. Finally started to break through. Getting some blue sky. Looking back down into the valley there. In or above the clouds now. And we start to get our first glimpse of Baguio, built out there on the hillside. These big old giant billboards they spotted from one side after we just went through a tunnel. And random hill with the blue sky finally peeking through. A view over the guardrail. And then we started to get some pretty spectacular views. Looking down, up, and over the clouds. Pretty impressive. It's kind of hard to translate with images. But the fact that we were able to catch these images through the window glass while driving, thought it turned out pretty good. And back across here, you can see we drove through that. That's like a tunnel, or which I assume was to protect us from rock slides. It was fairly long. We drove through that, and then we had a switchback. So I'm taking snapshots over my left shoulder back. And you can see that's a pretty big hillside over the top, and I don't know, I thought that was kind of interesting how they had that one section of roadway protected. That's the entrance. And then facing forward, a bunch of shots of the beginning of Baguio. People stacked up like nobody's business there. Unfortunately, I had to shoot a lot of these through some bamboo scaffolding that was along the side of the road. Firing a lot of these shots on the fly. All things considered, they came out reasonably good, I think. Okay, finally made it into town. We had pulled over here for a minute because Ranger was trying to get some GPS coordinates, calling our lodging host to get some information on exactly how to get to the venue. Saw another cool jeepney. Most of them are pretty cool. And here we are traveling along when we just got into town. Pretty much have no idea where we are. You can tell we are still mostly going uphill. People doing what they do. Slowly crawling along here. See out across the hillside there? Just about everything is on stilts, hanging off the edge of the roadway. Going back down here a little bit. Making a hard turn and continuing to travel upward. Everybody's pretty much just staring out the window, slack-jawed at this point, looking around, taking it all in. And then you may ask, what goes on here? To get to our lodging, we had to cross a runway. That's right, driving perpendicular to the path of an airplane, should it be landing or taking off. Driving right across the runway and hooking a left, going down the street here to our digs for the next 3 days.
Look both ways.
Only the Philippines, that's what I say.
And then a very narrow, very steep climb up to this garage bay, if you will. You can see just up there through the window how steep that is to get up the hill. Ranger doing expert work getting us up there. You can see there's a look back down the hill. It was very narrow. Getting up there, you had to pull one mirror in to keep it from scraping the sidewall. And then finally, at Yummy... No, Happy Tummy. Happy Tummy.
We're eating. We're having fun.
Restaurant that is right down the hill from where we're staying. It's a Thai Filipino restaurant and quite delicious. We've eaten there twice now, as a matter of fact. Giving the camera over to 30.
Hello, 30. Are we on video?
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Plates are empty, our tummies are full. We're all fat and happy. We made it in one piece, and that's the end. Bye.